Hello my Wolfpack and welcome back to another TBL battle, the week 4 battle, which we are commencing. I have recorded this in advance purely because I wasn't exactly sober when I did the battle, and it was quite late and I just didn't really feel kind of myself, to be honest. I was having a little bit of a funny night, let's just say. So I decided to have a couple of drinks just to take the edge off, and I thought, oh, I've got my battle, this will be fun. So I didn't really want to record that just because I knew I wouldn't be thinking straight. I think it'll reflect this week that I was very one-track minded. I was like, I'm just going to do this, I'm going to click this straight away. I think I spent like a total of 5 seconds on each of my plays, because I was just like, screw it, I'm going to go for this. Whether it works or not, I will let you watch and find out. We could win, we could lose, we could tie for all I know. We could have explosion on whatever. We could have explosion on something and we could all die. But yes, we are battling Heff again. Heff has got a axe to grind with us because obviously we took him out in UBL in week 1. Bringing Conk Elder, which again, a very scary mon. I'm obviously using it in the UBLN, and it is very versatile and very capable of taking out a lot of things. Even psychic types. A lot of psychic types can't like always take you out in one hit, and you can revenge kill them. Crocodile, really good stealth rocks. Earthquake, taunt as well. I believe it gets knockoff. It can just be pretty destructive in that sense. Leavanny, sticky webs. I really was not expecting the Leavanny. I was expecting the Conk and the Crook, but I wasn't expecting the Leavanny. I really expected Venusaur. I totally prepped for Venusaur 100% times more than I did for the Leavanny. I think the only one I had to cover Leavanny was Charizard, now that I think about it. Mismagius is, you know, really cool. I expected Mismagius to come just because I brought it against him last time in the TBL Season 3, and it was kind of my thing to deal with Landorus, so I think having Mismagius there could work. Obviously if it's knockoff it could cause issues, but generally barring a Scarf Lando, Mismagius is going to be faster, so I can deal with that. Rotom Wash I knew was coming. It's very scary, but that's kind of why we have Seismitoad there. Obviously risking the Hypno Grass, but that's kind of a risk we have to take. And Silvally came, which I was really kind of stressed about. Like, Silvally is just such a difficult one to prep for. Like, it was like a considerable time into the battle before I actually knew what type Silvally was. Because it can be one of 18 types. Is it 18 or 17? I think it's 18 now with Fairy. One of 18 types. It can be any of those, and it's just difficult to prep for because you have to have coverage for absolutely everything. And it has base 95s in its defense and special defense. It can be run defensively, specially defensively. It can be run physically. It can be run specially. It can be run fast. It can be run as bulky. Honestly, there were so many ways that this thing could be run that it really does scare me in general. Now let's talk about leads. Leads we had. So I was considering Lando, and I was like, Scarf Crook with Ice Fang is a very likely possibility because, you know, it will cover me. Potentially even CMS Mage's lead. Expecting my Landorus to lead with an Icy Wind or something that would just completely obliterate me. I don't think Icy Wind took me out, but if he wanted to kind of set up a nasty plot there as well, if he wanted to risk me not having knockoff. I did have knockoff, but, you know, you could see the Leavanny lead as well. The Leavanny with sticky webs can be a big lead. And I was sat here and I was like, Lando doesn't really do it for me. I'm going to lead with Blastoise, I think. And this was before I was like, oh shoot, Leavanny gets webs. And as soon as I clicked it in, I was like, oh my goodness, Leavanny gets webs. What am I doing? Why did I just lead with Blastoise? And I was like, you know, just don't panic. Let's see how the lead goes and let's start the match. So I cannot remember this match very well. As I said, I wasn't exactly sober, but we will see that he did lead. Oh my god, I was just choked. He did lead with the Crocodile here, so having the Blastoise here really did work. The reason the names are the names, I think I was trading with a German Jenna, so the standard names just remain the same. He does withdraw the Crocodile on the first turn, but I can get a free Scold on almost anything. So I Scold here. I'm hoping for the burn because Leavanny is really not coping well under a burn. I don't get the burn. I don't get the chance for the burn, which really sucked. I switch out here because like, there's no way I can take a Leaf Blade. Go into Charizard here, and I'm just thinking, oh, you know, I can probably get a free Dragon Dance set up here, and I think Dragon Dance could have kind of swept, barring the Rotom Wash. The Rotom Wash was a little bit of a scary thing to be dealing with. And now the Sticky Webs are also up on the field, it's a little bit scary. See a Poison Jab here, which does mean that we were slower than the Leavanny, which I believe Leavanny is like base 100, so it might even be, it must be above base 100, because I believe I was max speed, or maybe I was just under, but the Leavanny switches out, and I go for Fire Punch here, and I'm just like, gosh, I really wish I got rid of that Leavanny. Really wish I got rid of that Leavanny, because that can cause me issues. I hit a Fire Punch here, which actually does a lot of damage. It does like almost 40%. I'm calculating this, and I know the 2 Shadow Claws are going to be taking this thing out, so I go for a Shadow Claw, in the hope that he either switches or misses his Hydro Pump. He does hit his Hydro Pump, unfortunately, and that does take us down pretty low. I knew we were going to live it regardless, but in retrospect, I didn't really consider this was my only option for Leavanny. His Shadow Claw again here, and we do take out the Rotom Wash. We can, like, that's the first kill of the game straight away, very, very quickly. And I'm feeling good about myself. I was like, oh yes, this is really, really pretty good. And then I was here, I was like, Crocodile's just come in, it's lowered my attack back to its normal. And I'm sat here and I'm just like, oh, I think I need to switch out, because this thing could definitely go for Earthquake. Was expecting Rocks, but it could definitely go for the Earthquake. And I'm here caught in the Sticky Web with Blastoise, but you know, I'm fine to Rapid Spin, and I thought I'm a defensive wall here. I have Rocky Helmet, which really comes back to bite the Crocodile, and the Crocodile's Life Orb as well, as we can see, so it's going to be doing a little bit more damage. He does switch out, and he does go into his Conkeldurr, which I believe I just click Skull, because I was like, you know what, I can live anything, and I can just, you know, get a, try and get a kill on something. And then it was a Flame Orb burn. It was actually the Flame Orb burn here, which I was a little bit disappointed in. The Conk here is actually faster than Blastoise, which I was now looking at. I'm very confused as to why, but we do see the Conk. I don't know if the Conk had speed investment then to outspeed Blastoise, but we did see it get a massive chunk off of us there. And it goes for Poison Jab. Lots of Poison Jab coverage here for the Bulu and the Sylveon, obviously. I think those are the main, like, Sylveon was really scary, and I did think, oh, I could go into Sylveon here, but I felt not confident. I didn't feel that Sylveon was necessarily going to work. I thought I'd come in with Lando and get intimidated. I thought Sylveon was going to be slower. That's the thing. And yeah, I come in with Landorus, get a Intimidate off. The Crocodile comes back in, and I believe I go for a Swords Dance here. Excuse me. I didn't. I went for an Earthquake, so I'm at -1 attack. This is still going to do a ton of damage to the Croc. It does about 50 to 60%, which I thought is actually really pretty good. Sucks that he managed to get his Stealth Rocks up, though. Sucks that he managed to get his Stealth Rocks up. And at this point, I'm like, I can probably set up and not have to worry too much about things. So I'm just sat here, and I'm like, you know what? I'm now at +1. This is pretty good. So I decided to Earthquake here. He crunches, which does a heck of a lot more damage than I thought it was going to do. But I think I did the calc without... I went for Knock Off here just in case he switched. But I don't think I calculated with Life Orb, and I think that made the difference there, because I think it was only supposed to do about 40%. It did about 60-ish. Almost 60, I suppose. And then the Silvally comes in. I now find out the Silvally is Steel, and I was like, I'm just going to Earthquake here. And then it has Ice Beam, and I was like, oh damn. Oh damn, whoops, that was my fault completely. I didn't even consider. I know that Silvally's faster, but for some reason I was like, oh, this could be bulky. It's Steel type, it's likely to be bulky, but it was not. I go into Seismitoad here, and I'm like, you know what, I can scare this thing out with an Earthquake. Get into his Magius, and I was so close to clicking Knock Off. I was so close to clicking Knock Off, but I clicked the Earthquake instead, and the Levitate obviously goes off. And now I was like, I'm really scared of the Destiny Bond, and he gets a nasty fart. I'm just like, this is really scary. This is very, very scary. And I go for Ice Punch instead, because I was like, oh no, I'm too scared of the Destiny Bond there. And then this time I'm like, he's definitely not going for Destiny Bond, and I know I can live an attack. We just live on 10 HP and go for the knockoff, and we die to the Life Orb. How often can you say a Seismitoad is going to die to a Life Orb? That is, you know, incredible. Seismitoad, I really, really wish I had gone for that initial knockoff, because honestly, it could have made such a difference in this game. It could, well, the Livani would have caused me issues, and then at this point I kind of have to go into, no, I didn't have to go into, what's it called, I was worried about the poison jab here. I was very worried about the poison jab. I didn't even calc it, whether I could live it or not, and I just switched down to Umbreon without even thinking. Like, this thing's a bug type. This is very scary. So I'm just sat here and I'm just like, oh gosh, I don't think I have any way out. Charizard dies on re-entry to rocks. I'm sat here with Umbreon, and I foul play here because it said, like, on that I should do about 70 to 80% or something, and I do a lot less than that. So I was very shocked. Maybe it's not max investment in attack, or maybe it's not got any attack investment, but I was very confused as to why the foul play did so little. But you know, that's just kind of how things go. At this point, I kind of have to go into what's it called? I have to go into Sylveon and just try and take this thing out. It's going to poison jab me, and I think we live. He gets a crit. He gets a crit here. I know I could live it just fine. He gets a crit and takes us down to 2 health, and I'm like, there's no way I'm living this. There's no way I'm not done. We do take out the Livani, but I don't think the crit would have mattered anyways, because the Silvally comes in and it's Steel type anyways. Multi-type would just take us out. At this point, I'm just like, it's GG. What are you going to do? I think I played really poorly in this match, honestly. I feel like I'm getting to grips with the team. I feel like Seismitoad could have put in so much more work had I not panicked a bit. And Landorus, I think I just sacked off without even thinking about it. Same with Blastoise, really. I could have switched into something like Sylveon and scared out the Conk and just done some damage, but yeah, that just it was a kind of suckish battle on my part. I just really didn't play very well, I full well admit. But that's the joys of alcohol for you. Don't play and drink alcohol at the same time unless you're, you know, casual, because, you know, if it's competitive, you might not win. But yeah, I was very destructive in that match. I didn't really kind of consider my options too well. I was a little bit disappointed the Sun team didn't come. I really wanted to see the Sun team, and I really wanted to counter Umbreon with Rain Dance, and that was such a short battle just purely because I think we both brought just all-out sweeps. We weren't playing for, you know, we weren't playing defensively. I was not at all defensive this week except for Blastoise and Umbreon. The rest of my team were designed to sweep, really. That's kind of how it goes sometimes, I suppose. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please do like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know if you're down in the comment section below. I know I played poorly, and you can feel free to comment that, but I already know that. But yeah, that's it. So I hope you had a good one, and I'll see you soon.